Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this. You are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, oh, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Virgo New Moon. I actually think a lot of this new moon is very repetitive, to be honest with you, and more so about wrapping up the Taurus Scorpio eclipse energy. So if you go back and look at my Virgo full moon video, which is at the top of my page, or you can go to my website, you can see when you hear that video, it's really coming off of that energy of the new year, all the changes of the new signs that changed, which was a pretty big deal at that time. And a lot of those themes are still pretty valid, as opposed to what can be coming up at this time. And because we're going into a new eclipse season, um, I think we're bringing in more pieces to that energy, like um, the first we're incorporating the Libra energy, and we're finishing off the last eclipse we have in Taurus. So we are officially in eclipse season. Even though the eclipse isn't until October 15th, we have Venus going direct and Mercury going direct right around the same time of this new moon, or more so Mercury than Venus, but Venus will be direct. And then we're incorporating the Libra eclipse with Mars and Libra that's already bringing in these Libra themes. So it's going to be very, very busy, but I still think it's going to prolong the energy of what this Virgo energy is trying to show us, teach us. And again, it's always going to be different for everybody, because if you're doing the work consistently, and I know I sound like a broken record and I say this all the time, but it's just the truth. If you're doing the work, you're just not going to experience this on the same level as people who are just kind of living day by day and not being intentional. That's just the bottom line. Um, and so you can experience this very differently, where you might still have things come up, but you can catch it enough so that it doesn't get to a point where it can be stressful, critical, um, um, in the way that that lower vibrational Virgo energy can be, or overthinking, um, judgmental. I think critical is a more Virgoan word, judgmental is more Sag, but nonetheless, very nitpicky, you know, um, or trying to perfect something, and to the point where you're not getting anything done. That very much has the potential to be themes here if you are not doing the work, right? But if you are, again, you're still going to experience things, but I feel like you're going to experience them um not in such a stressful angle. And so overall, I still feel like things are backed up. Like that's just I'm actually really mad that I'm doing this video because I'm like, just go back and listen to the last 6 months. Like it's the same thing. The only thing that has changed is that we are not incorporating the Aries energy. Um, well, we'll have a follow-up of that in November, but we're not incorporating, we are now adding Libra energy to all of this. And because Venus has been in retrograde for such a long period of time, and in Leo for such a long period of time, a lot of things around that will become clear. But even then, because it's retrograde season and it's eclipse season, and the eclipse in Libra is in the South Node, which is still a retrograde type of energy where it's like something's changing or ending or releasing or you're letting go, or again, you're reflecting, rethinking, redoing, reprocessing, what you didn't see that is going to become very evident once we're in the heart of eclipse season. Like it's going to be like wham, it's going to hit you like you made a decision about something that you already made a decision not to do. You're going to go back because the Pisces energy can be making us very lazy, bringing us back to um like comfort, or going back to what you know. So if you are trying to change patterns and habits about yourself, then, these things can come back up in a way where you relapse, and it could be very frustrating or embarrassing or like, damn, I knew I had this conversation with myself. I didn't listen to my intuition. I didn't do my internal work. Um, or you're not doing the research to find new solutions to things, you're not clearing things out, you're not releasing and letting go. These things are going to come back up in such a way where it's going to be a heavy hitter, and then Saturn in Pisces is going to be that reality check where it kind of bonks you over the head, like, just because I was out of the classroom didn't mean that you couldn't stay on point. It was a test. I'm testing you. I went retrograde to see if you was about that life, if you're walking the walk, talking the talk, and not just pretending or acting or trying to be something that you're not. It's gonna hurt. That's all I really have to say. It's gonna hurt. But, still, this is about showing us where our patterns are, what our um um what's the word? Attachment styles are, and just understanding that and knowing that is still beneficial to progress later down the line or as you begin to accept that and do the work, right? So there's just a lot of that going on. I had to get that out because I was really annoyed. I'm like, I want something spectacular to happen, or for the things that I've actually been talking about to actually come to fruition or an end, or you're re-evolving within those themes, which is, again, it's going to be for some people, you are going to feel it. But it's just like heavy eclipse season. Jupiter is about to go retrograde. Um, and yeah, it kind of took the fun out of my shit. I was like, blah, blah. So, anyways, um, very melancholy, very so September 14th, we will have the Virgo new moon at 21 degrees. 21 degrees is a Sagittarian degree. And again, Sagittarius is getting ready to go retrograde, which is your protection, by the way. I feel like that's going to be lost. And with all this mutable energy in the sky, it could amplify the overthinking or the lower expressions of mutable energy. Mm, I may not like it. Okay. It could feel kind of like you get this burst of insight, um, this burst of understanding, something enlightening happens where you're like, oh, I get it now. And then that retrograde's gonna hit and eclipse season's gonna hit, and it's gonna be like, but wait a minute. Don't get too caught up. Don't get too cocky. Don't get too, you know, uh big in your energy. Not to say that you can't celebrate, but something else is gonna smack you right in the head. Like, but dot dot dot. Just something else new coming in. Um, more truths coming in. Definitely something that you didn't see coming. Um, And to be quite frank, I really feel like it's hurting my feelings. That's how I feel. Like my feelings are hurt, and I'm like, all right, you know what, whatever. And we'll talk more about what that's going to be like, but I kind of feel like energetically that's the clash that's coming, how it's going to run into the energy, Is it's going to be like, yeah, I got something, I learned something, but there's something else coming to that. And again, it's all just about helping you get to know yourself more on a higher perspective, no matter how it's coming out or whether we like it or not. It's trying to teach us, if you want this life of sovereignty and freedom and fun and play, you still have to pay consequences. You still have to deal with karma. You still have to do the work that's going to take you to get there, to build something strong, sturdy, stable, practical, and honest, really, truly honest. Is it helping other people? Not just yourself. A lot of these kind of things are realizations to whatever ideas or insights that are going to be coming in for this new moon for sure. Um, um, we're going to question them with that energy coming in October with the eclipses. And so Sagittarius rules foreign travel, foreign affairs, learning, college, especially like, any kind of universities or higher education, like universal law, spirituality, religion, philosophy. Your worldview can be changing with whatever information comes in um, with this new moon. Your morals and ethics can be changing, or you're again seeing something different in a new way. Um, um, this could also be culture, anything to do with other people coming into this country or going into another country. Um, in the travel industry for sure. Any kind of global matters, legal matters, um, and like legislation and regulations and things of that nature. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes of that. I do think we've kind of been seeing some of those issues arise. Probably some more things can come in. And then the new moons are a time to set new intention. So you definitely want to know what house this is happening in for you. You want to um I will be doing horoscopes, so I'll just leave it at that. I've actually already got them done, but I'll post them on my IG page closer to the day or on the day. Depends on how I feel. But you'll want to set intentions around those themes for whatever house is playing out and for you to get the best out of this new moon. This is a great time for initiating change and getting clear on your purpose. Virgo rules health, habits, pets, office space, productivity, organization, acts of service. This could also be daily routines, scheduling, um, meeting with people in the health industry for appointments and things of that nature. Um, this could also be regulations and limitations and restrictions around work. The service industry is going to be highlighted for sure, big time here, especially because Mercury's in Virgo and it rules business. This could be restrictions or changes within grocery stores, hotels, restaurants, businesses connected to hospitality. These places all could be returning back to mask. I actually think they are. Um, and that whole COVID theme is coming back up in certain circumstances. I've seen it in very small circumstances, but that can grow with it becoming winter season, cold and flu season due to the weather changes and all that other stuff for precautions. And public health issues. Virgo definitely rules public health. And so there could be laws, rules, and regulations around what you should do for precaution, even if it's not actually COVID or anything of that nature. People could be putting up things to be safe just in case. Um, Mercury also rules schools. Um, like childhood education. And so that could be being revisited in some way, shape, or form, reevaluated, reassessing whether or not there are going to be some changes with whatever's coming up from this new moon or for whatever reason. Um, mm, and it doesn't have to be COVID. I just feel like it's going to have something to do with that, but um, Mercury rules public transportation. Something can change around that. I don't know about where you guys live, but here in Boston, it's really hard to get bus drivers. They don't get paid enough. They don't have enough help. Those kids be wilding out on them buses, acting up, and the bus has to focus on driving. He can't do both. And so if they can't get monitors, which they hardly ever can't, there could be issues and problems that come up around that. My son's school just changed their hours, and so that could be what the change is, right? Again, it doesn't have to be about COVID, but I just feel like something's going to come up around that. But um, yeah, this is definitely schedule changes because school's back in service now and things of that nature. That's very Virgo energy. Scheduling, and it's also cleaning, feng shuiing, decluttering, detoxing. Um, this could be backed up, clogged up with the retrograde. So, like Virgo rules your intestines, and so this could be like constipation and things of that nature. And having to deal with that, eating better, drinking more water, to deal with that, or whatever, taking more vitamins, minerals. These are all very Virgo and rule themes that could be coming up some way that are um um what's the word I want to use? Blocked, or there's no forward movement within these themes, right? Um, and so, it could bring up all kinds of health issues. Um, I'm trying to think what other health issue. Oh, mental health. That's probably the best um health issue for Virgo is mental health. This could be a perfectionist, or again, somebody who's like nitpicky, or like a boss who is very what's the word? Now my brain doesn't work. But somebody who's like kind of always over your shoulder, dictating and criticizing everything that you do every freaking 5 minutes. It could be deadlines and things that need to be met with data, information, documentation, and it's crunch time. But energetically, we're in retrograde season, so we don't want to really want to get it done, and so a boss can become very overbearing and kind of overstepping their bounds because they have to reach these deadlines. It could be stuff like that coming up. You could be wanting to change a job, get a new job, or you're thinking about it. Because if you're actually making any changes right now, I'm not saying I was listening to an astrologer talk about how frustrated he is about people saying that you can't do stuff when you're when there's retrogrades, and he's like, I'm tired of, he's like, we got to change that narrative. Meanwhile, it's really happening. It is a thing. And so I'm not gonna not say that that's not a problem, but what I will say is that, it's not necessarily that don't do things, because obviously there are going to be things that you absolutely have to do. It's outside of your control, right? Just know that within that process during a retrograde, it's going to come back up. You're going to revisit it in 6 months for sure. Um, Either that, or it's going to be difficult to deal with, or even within that time frame of something having to be done, you might reschedule 3 or 4 times. You might um have to redo it 3 or 4 times because you realize, oh shoot, I forgot this. Oh shoot, I didn't add this. Oh shoot, I didn't put this. Oh shoot, it's like that energy is very real, right? And so it's just difficult. It's frustrating. It's hard to um get through when you have retrogrades, and then it's eclipse season, which is not going to help. Although it is a cardinal um eclipse that would happen with Libra, so that could help. But again, it's in the South Node, so I'm not too confident about that being any smoother. I'm just not. But then Taurus, we're wrapping up that eclipse in Taurus, which is a full moon eclipse, and it could be very stubborn. We might not want to do it. We might have to make changes that we're just like, you know, even though it's the end of the Taurus eclipse, I feel like we might be a little bit more positive to making these changes because we're just over it. And so it could be one of those things where it's a natural swing into making changes because you're like, how many fucking times are we going to have this conversation? You know, and we've had it for 18 months now. So you've learned something in your Taurus area of life to the point where you're like, okay, I'm tired. I don't want to see your face anymore. And again, Venus is retrograde, thank God. Venus, this is Venus's era right now. Like she just got out of retrograde, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, Libra is ruled by Venus, and so I'm feeling like this is very ugly. Venus has been through a lot. She's tired. She's like, look, now, damn it, enough is enough. She's been through a lot, and she's getting ready to now go through the South Node, having been in the North Node, and it's like backwards. And so, whatever Taurus energies come up, I'm telling you right now, we will be reevaluating them, letting them go in some way, shape, or form. There's something there that we are just absolutely done with. And I'll talk more about that at that time. But again, I'm really just emphasizing on the fact that I just don't feel confident to say that this time with all these retrogrades isn't going to be annoying, frustrating, and just absolutely fucking like blah. Right? Um, to do. Yeah. So whatever you have been rethinking, reworking, returning to, reorganizing, fixing, and cleaning up, will be a big focus even further after the new moon. The nice thing about this is that Mercury's been in Virgo for a couple of weeks now, and so some of the themes that we'll need to work on have already been showing up in our life in some way, shape, or form. And that's always very helpful. But this could be details, being practical, asking yourself what needs to be improved around daily habits, schedules, appointments, health routine, and preparing for fall season, like, changing your clothes. Um, um, you could be releasing and letting things go so new things can come in. Even if that is a detox or deleting data, files, going through your phone, um, emails, clearing out your is it a catcher? I don't know what it's called. I just know like sometimes those things come up in your phone, like when you don't have no more space and you gotta like delete that stuff. This could be, if you take the time to deal with releasing whatever you need to release. It'll help you feel lighter so that you can think clearly, and really be open to the new changes around health habits, well-being, etc., work, and all that other stuff. But definitely something needs to be cleared out first, even though this is a new moon. But again, we have had this for the last 2 weeks. So again, a lot of us have done a lot of that work. I just feel like it's going to be more shit coming up. I'm just being honest. Um, if you're looking for a new job to advance in your job or change your profession, this is a great time to do the research for it. Again, if you can avoid it and you have to look for a new job, I'm telling you right now, be prepared to wait. Even without a retrograde or an eclipse season, if you're looking for a job naturally, it takes about 6 months. It doesn't happen overnight. You incorporate eclipse season and retrogrades, just be prepared to wait. Be patient with yourself. Do research first. Really think through what you need. Don't act out of don't be reactionary, really sit down and process what it is you want. Why did you lose your job? What happened? Was it something you did? Was it outside things? Are there other things that you can put in place so these things don't happen? And then once you get like a clear understanding of what those things are, then you take that list and you make sure that those are the types of things that you're getting in that job. And I know some people might be like, well, that's not always easy to do. I got bills to pay and blah, 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 blah. And I completely understand that. But this is when faith steps in. This is when you step into your spiritual process and understand that everything happens for a reason. You will get something out of it. Even if you don't know what it is right now, just don't rush through it, because if you do, you're going to have to redo it. I'm telling you, it's going to come back up. And you're probably okay with that, and that's fine too. I'm just saying, if you're on your spiritual journey and you're trying to elevate and do things better, it's best to understand that spiritual process is about knowing when to move, when not to move, when to act, when not to act, when to make a decision, when not to make a decision, and not worrying about what the outside world is going to say, or being in that fair state, knowledge of self and knowing that there's a higher power, believing in that, getting grounded in that, and not letting anything else deter you outside of that is being spiritually aware, conscious, knowledgeable. Yeah, you know. And so, embrace that. Um, This is also a good time for acts of kindness and being of service to others. So this could be, again, finding doctors, healers, and support systems, even places where you can volunteer. This could be also outsourcing, like a dog walker, because Virgo rules pets, or a nanny, or some kind of additional service in your home, or devices, or like needing technological help or things with your data. Maybe you need to call one of those, techie people who can tell you what you need to do, or how to buy storage, or, things of that nature. This is actually a really good time because you are dealing with an issue, a backup or something. This is very Virgo. And so if you're looking for help and services, you might have a lot of support with that. It might come more easily and be more supported because that's in alignment, right? This could also be a good time to develop new skills. So taking a small course, again, learning, educating yourself um, around um, whatever your profession is, or your business, if you have a business. Um, this could be a really good time for doing stuff like that, or if your job has like courses or things that you can do to elevate or grow or any kind of trainings, this will be a good time to do those things that they're very supported at this time. Um, with the Mercury retrograde, we can feel a little discouraged, defeated again, because there is no forward movement. And it's like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. It's retrograde season. So again, get grounded, be confident in the fact that um, spirit's working in your favor. Or you could even look at it as a way to rest, retreat, relax, and do something nice for yourself. Go get a manicure, pedicure, facial, back rub, um, do something nice for yourself. That Venus and Leo go in direct energy. Again, you're being enlightened somewhere in your Leo area of life. And again, Venus being in Leo, Venus is all about beauty, fashion. Go buy you a new outfit. Celebrate what lessons that Venus has taught you that she will be bringing to light at this time. Have a good time, have fun, go out, date, have play, work with your children, be creative, let your creative juices flow. And if you have some kind of creative talent, tap into that and just let it be, and let the rest of the world around you just disappear. And go with the flow, create, um connect, get out and do something. And don't worry about, the things that are coming up that you can't do anything about. This could be a mini vacation or planning a vacation. Um, as well. Mercury does rule short distance, Leo rules vacation. Um, this could be like investing stocks and things of that nature. Um, I know sports season is coming up. I'm not really a big sports fan, but actually both Jupiter and Venus rule sports. And so there could be something that you can do around that, or just being active in general. Fun play, romance. This could be pregnancy, um, children, sports, creativity. Yeah. So maybe you're building a business around your creative talents. It is Venus, Leo is self-employment, right? And so revel in those things if you can, or again, just relax, retreat. Try not to overthink things. Um, I do feel like we'll start to release old patterns and habits completely when it comes to our Leo area of life. So those are all the themes that I just mentioned. If you're on the lower expressions of those, remember Jupiter is about to go retrograde, and that's our luck and protection. And I do feel quite heavily, because Jupiter is in Taurus, it's also ruled by Venus, that, um, a lot of those like drama, egotistical, so don't overdo it. Making sure that you're spending within your means, being responsible, realistic, and things of that nature, practical. All earth signs are very practical energies around these things that you might be doing is going to be important. So just be mindful of that, but don't not do it. Um, if you have it. Or incorporate, like, I really love Dr. Boyce Watkins. If you guys follow me, you guys know I haven't talked about him in a while, but he talks a lot about finances, and I love the way he says, if you can afford to eat out 5 days a week, you can take the amount of money that you put in, that you spend on that food, and take that amount and put it into some kind of investment. It could be McDonald's if that's where you eat. And I'm just throwing things out there. Wherever you eat, they have somewhere that you can go and invest, put that money back into your pocket by investing or saving. And not everybody cares much about investing, but just food for thought that that's another way to work with this energy so that you're balancing out the energies and not overdoing it. You know, whatever you spend, also making sure you're putting that back in somewhere to give back to you later down the line or as protection, um, or security and things of that nature. Um, and because we're coming off of the Pisces energy, I do feel like um there's still some Pisces energy, especially with Neptune playing out here around, you know, something has come to an end. Um, you're letting something go that might be really painful. Um, because it just takes time to change. You could find yourself dipping back into old habits again as a way to wake you up, to realize that this has to change. But again, this time around, it's gonna hit a little harder. So be mindful of that. But again, lessons are lessons. Um, I don't think this energy has been, I mean, I do think that this energy has been leading up to endings, and just being over it. Um, to the point where it might easily fall into place, like forcing you to do new things because you're trying to avoid whatever this is emotionally. And so you could be ignoring it, trying to forget something. And that's what's giving you these new ideas and new ways to step into doing things differently. Um, whether it's intentional or not. Because I do feel like there's something that we are completely fucking over with. I know I am. Like this video, I'm tired of talking about it already. Like, didn't we talk about this last 6 months ago? Like, get over it. No. Um, it just is what it is. Um, I do think that this new moon is going to be the catalyst to us as people being open to asking for help, leaning on coaches, mentors, financial advisors, teachers, and being self-taught. Um, you know, so if you're not going to school, you might start reading more, learning more, understand outcomes through practical application. That's very much Jupiter. Um, So I'm trying to figure out how I can like combine what I just said. But I mean, a simpler example is to take your mind off of something, you're going to do something that you might not normally do. And you're going to end up, if they say it takes 30 days to change your pattern, right? And so say this is happening over a 30-day period of time. After that 30 days, you're like, it sticks, right? And you're like, maybe you don't do it all the time, but when you notice that you're getting bored or your mind starts to wander back to something that you just don't want anything to do with, you're going to pick up another book. You're going to go do the research to see what other books are out there. You're going to, um, just try to think of something new and different to do, right? And so that's how this energy could be playing out for people. And that's the practical application that you're going to learn through whatever you're reading, understanding. It's going to help you shift your reality, the way you do things. Because like the how the brain works is like, I remember when I was doing coaching for the prison, the inmates, and it was really hard for them to get out of the habit of um feeling like they were still in prison. And I'm like, brush your teeth with your left hand if you're a righty, or um, you know, with your right hand if you're a lefty. Put your left shoe on first instead of your, brain exercises to help you get out of the conditioning that you're in now, the comfort zone that you're in now. You have to do something different in order for that to become a habit or a new pattern, right? And your brain will eventually catch on. Um, So, that's another way that you can think about what practical application is that helps you change over time. This could be due to some shocking news that could be a reality check for us. I do think Venus does rule finances and Taurus rules banks. And so all those themes that I've kind of been talking about, we can hear more unfortunate situations with those things. Um, mm, do, 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 do. Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, this is just teaching us what our habits are, and that might take time. So really, just be patient with yourself, guys. Don't overthink it. It's gonna happen naturally. I promise you. Um, but yeah, I feel like I talked about this as much as I can. I hope that I didn't sound as dry as I feel about this fucking shit, but tried, okay? I love and appreciate y'all. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.